Before we get into today's story, let me just say this. I have read some wild relationship disasters online, but this one made me pause the screen, take a deep breath, and grab snacks because I knew we were entering premium grade, industrial strength stupidity. So buckle up, because today's tale features a clueless fiancé, a totally innocent girl best friend, a honeymoon-level trip taken without the bride, 2 months before the wedding. If you love these breakdowns of people making catastrophically bad decisions, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who ignores red flags for sport.
All right.
Let's unpack this mess. 1. The message that should have come with a warning label. Everything began on a Tuesday afternoon when Natalie, minding her own business, got a text from her fiancé, Evan. We need to talk about our expectations for the marriage. And listen, whenever someone says expectations, what they really mean is, I'm about to say something incredibly stupid, but I need to ease into it. Natalie stared at that text like it was a subpoena, because deep down she already knew. This was not going to be a conversation. This was going to be a revelation, the kind that ruins your appetite and your faith in humanity. 2. Evan, the man who treated marriage like a prison sentence. For months, Evan had been off. This was the same guy who used to send cheesy good morning texts and plan little date night surprises. But recently, he had become the spokesperson for some freedom and self-discovery cult. He'd started saying things like, marriage is permanent. I need to make sure I still know who I am. I feel like I'm losing my individuality. Every time he talked like this, Natalie would blink slowly, like, buddy, we're planning a wedding, not your funeral. 3. The bombshell he dropped like it was totally normal. Evan came home one night with this dramatic, enlightened energy. He plopped down at the table and said, I think I need to take a trip before the wedding. Natalie, bless her soul, assumed something reasonable. Oh, like a bachelor trip with your friends? But Evan said it with the confidence of a man who genuinely believes he's making sense.
No.
Not with my friends. They just want to party. I need something deeper. Something meaningful. And then, the horror. I'm going with Lily. Lily, his girl best friend. His spiritual twin flame. The woman who always called Natalie a little controlling, with a smile that wasn't a smile. The same Lily who treated their relationship like a group project she was secretly lead editor of. Natalie almost choked on air. And Evan kept going, absolutely unaware of the flames behind him. Lily says this trip could really help me figure out who I am before I commit for life. As if Lily were the CEO of marriage. 4. The gaslighting masterclass. Natalie tried to express how insane this was. And Evan responded with, you're being insecure. You don't understand personal growth. You should trust me. Lily sees things more clearly because she's not emotionally involved. Oh, the classic, my friend knows our relationship better than you do routine. As a narrator, I'm over here like, sir, Lily doesn't see anything clearly. She sees an opportunity. But it gets worse. 5. The discovery that should have won an award for most obvious red flag. One morning, Evan left his laptop open. Natalie walked by, and the universe said, hey girl, come look at this. Messages between Evan and Lily. Months' worth. Lily was planting doubts like she was running a psychological garden. Are you sure Natalie is your person? You're so young, you shouldn't settle. Marriage will trap you. If she really supported you, she'd want you to go. And Evan? Responding like a man with one brain cell left on low battery. Sometimes I wonder if I'm forcing this. You always understand me better. I think this trip will tell me what I need to know. A test. He literally said the word test. Natalie read that and thought, ah. So, I'm dating a man who thinks I'm an exam he needs to cheat on. 6. The dinner from hell. Natalie confronted him, hoping at least for an apology.
Nope.
Evan accused her of violating his privacy. But the real masterpiece came at dinner the next night. Evan arrived with a notebook. A notebook full of bullet points listing all the things she needed to improve. Yes. He made a PowerPoint presentation of her supposed flaws. He told her, You should learn to cook more of my favorite meals. Maybe you could consider going part-time when we have kids. You're too career-focused. You owe Lily an apology for being cold to her. Marriage requires roles. You need to work on yours. I, the narrator, would have thrown breadsticks at him. Natalie? She just sat there absorbing the disrespect like a scientist capturing data. And then he ended with the piece de resistance. While I'm gone, you should focus on becoming the wife I need. The wife I need. In the United States, we call that divorce starter kit. 7. The plot twist Evan never saw coming. Natalie didn't scream, didn't plead, didn't fall apart. She woke up the next morning with clarity so sharp it could cut diamonds. She opened her laptop, booked 3 weeks in Italy, solo, leaving the same day as Evan, not to discover herself, but to escape a man who had clearly lost his mind. When Evan got the notification from the airline because they shared points, he called panicking. Why are you traveling? What about the wedding? This isn't part of the plan. Natalie, calm as a saint. I'm following your philosophy, Evan. Space helps us grow. He had no argument because she was using his own nonsense against him. And that is feminism. 8. His trip versus her trip, the side-by-side disaster. Evan and Lily flew to Bali. Their social media became a montage of clubbing, rooftop pools, Lily in increasingly microscopic bikinis, spiritual captions that sounded like horoscope knockoffs, finding ourselves selfies. Meanwhile, Natalie was eating pasta on a terrace overlooking the Amalfi Coast. She was learning phrases in Italian. She was taking pottery classes. She was laughing again. And then she met Lorenzo, a charming local chef who treated her like an actual human being and not a problem to be solved. While Evan was posting thirst traps with Lily, Natalie was finally breathing. And Evan? Oh, his jealousy kicked in fast. Suddenly freedom didn't feel so spiritual anymore. 9. Karma clocked in for overtime. 3 weeks in, Evan called crying. And when I say crying, I mean ugly crying. Lily had disappeared, along with his wallet, his credit cards, and apparently a significant amount of his savings. Turns out, Lily had a history of doing this. Multiple reports online, fake profiles, manipulative patterns, professional-level scamming. Evan was stranded,
Broke.
alone, humiliated. He begged Natalie to come home so they could fix their relationship. Natalie looked out at the Italian sunset, took a sip of wine, and said, "I'm not coming back. And I'm not marrying you." Then she hung up, blocked his number, and went to dinner with Lorenzo. So, here's the moral of the story, folks. If someone needs a month-long trip with another woman to discover themselves, they're not preparing for marriage, they're preparing for consequences. Natalie didn't lose Evan. Evan lost Natalie. And he gained a very expensive lesson about confusing manipulation with spirituality. Now I want to know, what would you have done if your fiancé announced a freedom trip with his girl best friend? Drop it in the comments because I already know you'll have opinions. If you enjoyed this breakdown of human chaos, hit subscribe, tap like, and share this video with someone who needs to hear that freedom doesn't require disrespect. See you in the next one, where hopefully the bar is higher.